All right. Well, I'm sure that you're aware
Yeah.
that about a month or so ago, that the company Starbucks closed their stores for sensitivity training.
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah. So we'll see how that fares for Starbucks. I see that their stock has fallen since that point, and they're closing out like 800 stores or something.
Already?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess people don't want to drink their coffee sitting amongst the homeless and the people shitting on themselves.
Apparently not.
My goodness. Okay.
So I guess they've announced a bunch of closings of their stores around the country.
Right.
And their stock has fallen.
Well, not for nothing, but I never liked their coffee very much.
Well, regardless of that, Starbucks, because they're such a progressive company, they have announced that, drum roll please, Starbucks has announced it will cover surgeries for transgender employees, and this is called progress.
So, wait a minute. So they pay their employees what? $10 an hour or something?
I don't know what they pay. I'm sure it's maybe just a little bit above a minimum wage. I don't know what minimum wage is these days because of all that nonsense.
But they'll pay for tranny surgery?
Well, apparently, because if they don't, or because they made this announcement, if they renege on the deal, then they're going to be in a spotlight as being, bigoted somehow. So
let me ask a question. Let me put a hypothetical here.
Yes.
Let's say that I work at Starbucks. I'm a barista, as they call it, I believe.
A barista.
And as a barista at Starbucks, my job is to write a person's name on a cup.
Yes.
And then hand them their cup once it's full of coffee. That's correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so let's say, for the sake of argument, tonight when I got off work at Starbucks, I went over to the gym and I tore my MCL. Not work-related. I was just playing basketball or something, and I tore my MCL to where I can no longer stand up.
Right.
Will Starbucks pay for that for me to get surgery?
No, because that wasn't a choice. That was just a happenstance.
So actual surgery needed to do the job, they won't pay for.
Probably not.
Surgery to turn Carl into Kim,
right,
will do that.
Yes.
I got it. Makes a lot of sense to me. Fucking idiots.
Finally, some good news from Starbucks. In a June 25th press release, the coffee chain announced that it will begin covering medical procedures for transgender employees.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right here and make you go back to the beginning, because I want to know what fucking publication put it out there that this is finally good news.
Well, it's for progressive good news.
Was it the Huffington Post?
Well, it's close. It's Hello Giggles.
Hello Giggles put this out?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Sure, that's a paper run by professionals.
No, it's a paper run by liberal douchebags.
Right. Got it.
Starbucks worked with the World Professional Association of Transgender Health.
That's a thing?
That's called WPATH. WPATH.
Oh, good.
To come up with its new health insurance plan, the first corporation in the world to do so.
That's fantastic.
Starbucks has offered employees health insurance plans that cover gender reassignment surgeries since 2012.
Wow.
But this new plan will also cover procedures for U.S. transgender employees that were initially deemed cosmetic and are therefore rarely covered, such as breast reduction or augmentation, also known as top surgery, facial feminization, and hair transplants.
God. Lord, take me. Just take me. Just fucking shoot a bolt of lightning through this window right now and fucking end this for me.
Right.
Please. I hate this society. Dude, as crazy as this is going to sound, who's more crazy now? Us, meaning Americans, or hardcore fundamental Muslims? Can you definitively say that one group is more crazy than the other?
Well, I'm going to go with your philosophy that you can't put everyone into a group.
True.
You got to judge everybody on an individual basis.
Mm-hmm.
So in that context, I can only judge people who choose to involve themselves in that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way I answer that question.
Okay. Far left people or radicalized Muslims, which would you be less afraid of in life?
Well, far left people don't abdicate or they don't promote destroying other people, as in setting off bombs and killing a bunch of people and, believing that there's an afterlife that includes, 72 virgins, and they think they're doing the work of Allah and all this other things.
Mm-hmm.
The liberal left, I would say that any kind of issues that they have, it's self-inflicted.
Okay.
With the people in the Muslim world, they inflict their problems on everyone else around them.
Okay. Let's pull a different group. Maybe that was a bad group.
Yeah.
Who would you trust more day to day? The far left or a school of Down syndrome children?
Oh, the school of Down syndrome children. They don't know any better. The far left, they're just ideologues. The school of Down syndrome children, they don't know any better. They just know what they know.
Yeah,
They don't have an agenda.
Yep, I'm absolutely with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad time to be an American. It really is. To be dealing with this bullshit day after day after day, with millions of people trying to convince themselves that this is not mental illness. It's fucking mind-blowing to me. It's fucking mind-blowing. Crazy.
I agree.
All right.
Ron Crawford, the vice president of benefits at Starbucks, said in a recent release that the decision was driven by the company's desire to provide truly inclusive coverage and by powerful conversation with transgender employees, how those benefits would allow them to truly be who they are.
It's great. So, will they be equally inclusive if somebody wants to look like a polar bear?
Right.
Will they pay for all the plastic surgery there to add claws and pads on their hands and feet and add a tail? Will they pay for that too?
Well, how about those people that want to look like a Barbie or a Ken doll?
Well, they better pay for that.
Well, those people exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
So would they, if those people were employees of Starbucks, would they say, you know what? You should be a Ken doll.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay for that surgery to make you look like a Ken doll because that's what you believe you are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to go get a job at Starbucks and say, I believe I'm Rockefeller.
Yeah, exactly.
Will you pay for me to be Rockefeller?
Yeah, I would like to now call myself Bill Gates.
Right.
Please pay me accordingly.
Exactly. The company says it also brought in trained advocates to help guide those in transition processes.
Okay.
These advocates will help Starbucks employees find proper health care providers and make sure that their medical claims are covered.
Right. Fantastic.
Boy, I didn't realize that coffee was so profitable.
Well, when you charge $4 for a fucking
but my point is once you spring for all those surgeries and everything, are you going to ever recover that from someone who pulls a handle on a espresso machine?
Well, and even more to the point, these people are not going to stay with Starbucks for their career.
That's my point.
Yeah, they're going to leave.
They're not going to be 40 years in.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think the average length of a Starbucks employee is? 2 years?
2 to 3 years.
Yeah, it can't be more than that. It's just fucking political horse shit.
Yeah, it's a springboard. It's a springboard position.
Right.
You get that job out of high school or while you're going to college, and once you finish college, you move on to whatever profession you really are going for.
Right.
Nobody trains to be a barista.
Right.
Nobody.
No, of course not.
Nobody grows up and goes, you know what? My ambition in life is to be a barista at Starbucks. It's just like, oh, that's a job that's going to pay for my McDonald's and my school books while I go to college.
I need to get my cock cut off. I better go to get a job at Starbucks.
Exactly.
Instead of McDonald's.
Although more companies are including transgender-related medical services in their employee insurance plans, none have gone so far as to include these types of surgeries. Crawford noted that he hopes that Starbucks will be the role model for other companies who want to right their trans employees.
You want to write them?
When does it become your responsibility as employer to fix the ills of your employee?
Look, this has always been my argument. Even forget the fact that they want to fucking get their cock cut off or whatever. I've always thought that it shouldn't be the employer's fucking problem to pay for any kind of health insurance. None of it. It's not my fucking problem. Unless I can tell you how to fucking live your life, then I shouldn't have to pay for it. You know, and I own businesses, so believe me, I've had real thought and conversation about this. And I don't understand for a minute why I have to fucking pay a health insurance premium for some other asshole that I know is going to drink and do drugs and fucking, you know, if they're, you know, like as an example, if you have an employee that gets carried away with meth,
okay,
and they want to go to rehab, well, they're going to go to rehab on their insurance, right? Why the fuck is that my problem? You know, if it's up to me, fuck you, beat it. Bring in the next guy. I don't understand. If the government wants to provide health care, then the government should provide the health care. But it shouldn't be the fucking the problem of the employer. You know, people want to make a realistic wage. Well, that's one of the reasons you don't make a realistic wage. Because that fucking health insurance is expensive as a motherfucker. And let's face it, for the jobs that I offer, it's really not worth it. You know, for me, that's one of the reasons I always do contractors, because it's not worth it for me. There's not enough value in what the people give me to fucking justify health benefits and all that other bullshit. There's not. I pay my cats well, but I don't fucking do it. I don't give them the health insurance. That's their deal.
Well, here's a more realistic example.
All right.
So you got a guy who's employed to come to work every day from, say, 8 to 5.
Okay.
He beats up his girlfriend over a weekend during a drunken brawl.
Right.
He gets liquored up, gets into some kind of domestic argument, beats up his girlfriend. He gets arrested.
Mm-hmm.
He gets out on bail. He has to go to court because of this.
Right.
The court date is on a Wednesday afternoon at, like, say, 2 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells you, I got to go to court at 2.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, your job is till 5.
Mm-hmm.
well, you need to let me off because I have to go to court.
Yeah, now I got to deal with the whole PTO and
Yeah.
Don't have time.
So
and,
the question is, well, I didn't beat your girlfriend up on a weekend, but you did.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're going to take 3 hours away from me.
Yeah.
Because you have to go to court due to this activity that you conducted.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this my responsibility?
Right. Dude, you're singing my song.
Well,
man.
but that's the point. It's just like, so your behavior made you have to go to court, but I have to say, oh, I'm just going to let you off for 3 hours and leave my business unattended, whatever it is your position is, because your activities on a weekend caused me this problem. Why is this my problem?
Right. I'm with you. I'm with you. I hate it, but I'm with you.
You're a dick, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Anybody that owns a business accepts the fact that they have to be a dick.
Right.
It's the only way you stay in business.
So that's it. So apparently Starbucks is taking on the burden because they're such a progressive company to say, you know what? We sympathize with you people who think that you're something and you're not.
Yep, exactly. Well, like I keep saying, almost done. Almost done.
Too good.
Or not good, as the case may be. Well, fuck off, Starbucks. I'm glad you make shit coffee you'll be easy to not purchase from.
Right.